Well, hi there guys. So I've called this "Where has all the bushcraft gone?" over the last sort of well, this will be the third weekend. This one actually coming up, so like 2 weeks, 3 weekends before I've posted the sort of like practice stuff. The reality is that's because I've not done any. Well, hardly any. I've done a little bit of whittling and bits and pieces, but nothing that nothing structured like I was trying to do. And as I put out, what was it, a week or so ago, I just had a bit of a couple of weeks back. I had one of those weeks at work where he was just flat out. It was just one of those things. A load of stuff came in. I got home and I was shattered. And by the time I'd walked the lads and got their tea sorted and stuff like that, I had a bit of tea for myself. I'd had enough. That's how it goes. But the other thing that has happened, which I wasn't really ready for, is I've kept ticking along at doing things like my knife making, which is obviously a bulk of that stuff. And a bit of leather working, so I've been doing some other bits and pieces with the leather working. I was doing that as much. I started making bits and pieces because I fancied them myself, and also it's practice. So I'm using smaller pieces of leather to practice on rather than trying to do something big and then ruining it or not being right. So all the different things like the trimming the edges and the burnishing, cutting things straight, applying the dye and the finishes and all that kind of stuff. Really, getting a nice finish on things. Which will also feed into sheaths and other things. So I've been ticking along with that, and I've had some comments and things. Basically, where are you selling these? Is it on Etsy, which I've heard of? Shopify, I'd never even heard of. Apparently now I've just found out fairly recently. You can sell things on Facebook. And I've had to write back and actually say, well, the reality is I never really got beyond practicing and making these things. And I was making a number of them on purpose to sell. I'm not BSing with that. But I'd never got past the thought of, I'll take some pictures and put them up. I don't think I ever really thought anybody would be interested. And it's a bit like that with the knives. I've spent so many years where I've done maybe 2 or 3 in a year, all by hand and things, and slowly improved up until the last year where I've actually done everything that I've done for the last year and a bit to improve. I was fully expecting to trundle along like I've done through most of this year, and turn out an occasional knife, hopefully a lot more regularly. But I was thinking maybe I might be able to turn. Once I got to the point where, like I am now, where I'm actually now working towards finishing things, I thought, if I can maybe turn out one a month or something like that, and then I'll put it on Trade Me or whatever, or advertise and see how it goes, or that was about as far as it got. And in the last sort of like month, I've got 4. There's a couple I'm trying to work on myself, simply because I've only got 1 or 2 knives. I've got my little neck knife and a bushman's knife. And I haven't. Everything else has been, I've given it away, traded, sold, and apart from that, so I've got none of my new stuff. So I wanted to make a couple for myself. So doing videos, doing the bushcraft stuff, I could use them and show people them and show that they worked and that they were effective and how they were made, all that kind of stuff. And they're getting left behind a bit now because I'm actually working on. I've got 4 in here that I'm working on. This is one I was doing for my daughter. And I'm almost there. Hopefully this might show up. I've got a light right above, so hopefully it might be okay. I've got basically just cleaned up the handle. That's all done. I've got to obviously take the tape off and clean up the blade, finish the edge, then the case to make, and hopefully that's showing up. The sort of, where things have got to. So really pleased. But these are a couple of things that have been on the go for a long time that I'm having to learn and do. But I've not only got the 2 for myself and the 3 I've got in here. One I've just refurbed, and I've just put a couple of pictures up on Instagram of a chap who had made one for a bit earlier, him and his brother, and he stuck it in the dishwasher. So anyway, he said to me, "Can you do something? Can you do it?" So that took me probably a couple of nights to clean all that up and everything, redo the handle, because obviously the dishwasher and the heat stripped the the oils and things and made a bit of a mess. Still trying to make my lads, but I've got my 2, another 3 on the go. This one I'm trying to finish, and I've actually now got back orders for 6 knives. I've got 6 people asking me, "Can you make me a knife? I want one of your knives." Mainly the Hunter bushcrafter. Another wooder wants, you know, he likes the design of the knife I'm making for my lad, but it'll be similar but not the same because that's special. So all of a sudden, I'm thinking, shit, you know. So basically, over the last sort of like week or so, I've got home from work, sorted the lads, done the usual stuff, and come out and cracked on. And like I say, I've got to this point with Katie's bamboo knife and some of the bushcrafters. And where am I? You know, so I've got a 3 and a 4. So, you know, and again, it's getting that practice in, and hopefully you can see this is to the point now. It's, you know, hardened and tempered. I've cleaned the handles have just been cleaned up on the heavy belt. Bevels are in. Bevels are just cleaned up to, I think I did that to 4, and then I tend to finish them off to 6 on the belt, and then go to hand finishing for the actual blade. But as you can see, I've been putting quite a bit of effort into getting nice consistent grind lines and things like that. So they're all coming along, and I've actually got a lot of the handle sort of like stuff semi-prepared for them over the last few days. So it's basically to the point now where I've got 3 or 4 in here, same as the one I just showed you, that really it's just hand sanding the blades down and then getting the handles put on, then the cases. So and I'm never really intended to do that. I intended to sort of like maybe have 3 on a go at a time, but just so I could do 3 particular processes, and then when I got to a certain point, then just work towards finishing it, do the case, and see where things went. And probably make myself a few as well. Well, that's going to be a bit of a that's going to be a bit of a tall order. So basically, that's what's taken up my time. I'm going to be putting some videos out. There's this one come out. I've just put one out. I filmed a little while ago about sharpening grits on stones, and you know how they match up and things like that. So that went out. I've just got a bloody big piece of steel here, which I want to make a bigger grinder bench for a grinder plate for, obviously not for my grinder, obviously, because the one that actually comes with it it's only about that sort of big, you know, and it's just, you know, even if I'm trying to finish off things by hand, there isn't even the room to get my hands on it really. So it's a thick, heavy, well made, lovely, you know, lovely made. I use what is it again? Little Buddy. Wilmot Little Buddy grinder, lovely. You know, hopefully one day my next grinder might be a tag, might be, you know, a big daddy tag or something. If I ever get another, you know, over here, probably $5 grand. You know, New Zealand. So I mean, they're not cheap. Unfortunately, I don't know engineers who can make me anything like that. So you know, I'm a bit stuck. But yeah, so you know, that I've got that to make up. I've got this stuff to finish. The leather work to do. I've just got myself a PayPal account. I'm coming into the modern world. I'm trying to learn Facebook and things like that, because the reality is, I just, you know, the couple of, you know, the requests I've had for stuff has suddenly made me realise that I need to actually find out how to sell things, or even market things. And anyway, and then the other reason I'm not doing anything, I've got a lovely plan for this weekend. Tonight, I'd got home from work. I was going to get the boys. Got off a little bit early. Going to get the boys sorted. And me and Ben were going to go up into the bush and have an overnighter, a bit of a camp overnight. But we've got a severe weather warning in New Zealand. Oh, there's my big piece of steel. Went to Steel and Tube in Auckland. I probably shouldn't say this, his boss might be watching. But a very nice man there asked me what I wanted. I said I only want a bit, and these do big, huge engineering, massive jobs, you know, the huge suppliers. And he wandered around the back and had a look in his cut-off bin and brought a piece out, well, over 2 or 3 times the size I want. So I said, oh, thank you very much. Very nice of him. But anyway, the other thing, like I said, is this is actually, I'm just coming out now because a minute ago it was absolutely bouncing. We've had severe weather warnings. So, you know, as you can see, it's not a very nice evening. And it's varying between heavy drizzle and absolutely bouncing down to the point where we've got there's floods in a lot of places. Morning guys, well I've got to say they were right with the weather forecast, so I'm pretty glad I didn't go anywhere. It has absolutely bounced it down from about 7:30 last night, 8. We've literally got, even here, apparently it's really much worse in some areas, but every path, everything, it's just, there's just streams running down. I mean, it's absolutely hammered it, and this is actually fairly quiet. I've waited till it's steadied off to come out and do this. It's absolutely bounced it down all night, so I am so glad I had a couple of hours in the garage and did a few videos and a bit of grinding work. It's going to get that bad for us, but there's floods. So, but the White Axe, where I am, basically it's a rainforest. So when they say there's heavy rain coming, you're talking rivers running down the road. You're not just talking of a bit of damp. So, you know, intelligence before valour. So anyway, that's. So I'm in the garage. I'm going to do this. I thought I'd just pop this video up. It's not that I'm not wanting to do stuff. I've got a trip planned in a couple of weeks, as long as my friend's brother-in-law is okay. So best wishes out there, guys. You know, hoping things are okay, because that could scupper that weekend as well, which has happened the same the last time. But it's how life gets in the way. Oh, sorry, that looks a bit slanted. Does that? That's better. Get my freebie tripod out of the freebie bin and don't use it. So, but yeah, so a few bits of rambling on there. Lots of work going on. If I get anything new that I'm doing, obviously I will try and, you know, remember to bring the camera. And I haven't really done anything this week, because basically this whole week has been made up with just basically, you know, gluing my scales up, which I've shown you before, and then sanding things down and drilling lots of holes and stuff like that. So nothing very exciting, really. I mean, if anybody watches this and says, "No, show us it, show us your," oh, you know, I can. But I know there's just so much stuff out there. I'm just wary of, you know, I'm trying to think of, you know, interesting bits or new bits or things I'm learning, rather than just watching the same old thing. If that's what people want to watch, then fine, you know, flick us a message. You know, I'll record what I'm doing. I've no problem with that. Well, apart from time. So with that, I'm going to shut up, and because I want to crack on. I'm going to see where this thing's at for my daughter, and then have a look at this steel plate. God, it's going to go through a couple of grinding discs getting that bugger cut down, but should give me a nice workstation then. So with that, thanks for listening to the ramble, and hopefully I might get some. If we get a bit of a clear in the weather this weekend, I want to get Ben up and maybe go for a walk, because that's another thing as well. I did say, I think it must be over 2 weeks. Yeah, 2 weeks ago, on the Friday, and I took a day off and I filmed that bits of stuff I did. Went down to the bit, and he had a real, you know, run, and his back leg were really a bit jippy. Whether he'd just done so much or strained, I don't know. And it's literally just yesterday, today, he's actually walking something like. So again, if we go off at the weekend, it might be just a little bimble up. I'll pick a bit of a steady track. I'll have to drive to one, because everything around here is so bloody steep. Drive to a bit of a steadier track, and maybe just wander up there, make a brew, get the old Kelly kettle out, or, you know, the hobo stove or something like that, and do a bit of something like that. So you know, I'll film that, because it's a great chill out, you know, hour or two or whatever, you know. So, and hopefully if I do manage to do that, you'll come along for the trip. So with that, I'm going to shut off. Don't forget to subscribe, like if you want to, you know, and everybody else's, you know. Instagram, bushbimbler. Try to put lots of pictures on there, lots of different stuff. The knives, obviously, the dogs, dog walking, camping, anything, you know, all sorts going on there. Bushcrafty stuff, you know. So it's not just knife making, you know. This is just one thing I want to do. This is the thing I want to do, that hopefully I can maybe cut my hours down at work, and then get this beyond a bit of a self-funding hobby one day, maybe, and, you know, even just make enough so I can just keep it going, and, you know, pay for itself and a bit extra, so that I can keep everything going. And then obviously my normal job will hopefully, you know, I'll have to do enough hours to make sure the mortgage is paid and things like that. So with that, I will sign off, and like I say, hopefully catch up over the weekend. And Facebook, Bushcrafting NZ. Anybody from New Zealand who watches this, get on Bushcrafting NZ. I keep trying to find Bushcraft NZ, which is one of the the chap on there had a website a few years ago when I first came here, and I found that, and I've dipped in and out, but there never seemed to be much happening. But I'll just keep chipping along with the sort of like the site I've got, with the Facebook site I've got, Bushcrafting NZ. I'm having a problem with Messenger, so if you do see this and suddenly think, oh, I'll have a look, and you sort of like message me for, you know, it's a closed group, but obviously it's anybody into bushcraft or outdoory general stuff, nothing too hardcore, please. But the messenger isn't working at the minute, so I'm struggling. So if anybody does, bear with me a little bit. But yeah, hopefully that can lead into get some messages going, maybe get some meetups going, get some pictures on there of things people are doing, stuff like that, which didn't seem to be a lot. And the other, they seem to be also, it seemed to be very big. I have to keep things simple, very simple. I'm a bit of a technophobe. Electricery stuff. Yeah, so all this, as you noticed. So anyway, like I say, I will shut up again, and I'll sign off. So I hope you guys have an awesome weekend. Better than it looks like we're going to bloody have here. Well, a bit chill out weekend, it's dry in the garage. And I will speak to you all soon, hopefully, with some more videos. And I'm going to put some stuff up from that I've already got filmed, but there's quite big lumps, and I just never seem to have time to put them together, because to do them justice, I want a bit of time. So with that, I'll sign off. And I took the lads to the beach. I filmed the walk to the beach. Well, I now know you definitely do not zoom in when you're walking. I'm not kidding. I put all the clips together and I sat watching it. God, I've never felt so seasick in my life. Oh God. So anyway, that got deleted. I wouldn't even dare put that out there. That'd have killed anything. Anyway, I'll give that another go. So maybe at the weekend if I can walk Ben over the next couple of days. And Clyde, obviously, if it's a day walk, Clyde comes along. So with that, I'll see you later, guys. Have a great weekend, and thanks for watching and giving me your time, and catch you out on the trail.